Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you are having a peaceful day. Today, I want to tell you a story about something you use every day, something you carry in your pocket, something that changed the world forever. Can you guess what it is? It is money. But money was not always paper or coins. The story of money is a long and beautiful journey through time. And today, we will travel together through this story. If you enjoy listening to simple English stories, please subscribe to Storyline English. It helps us create more stories for your learning journey. Now, let us begin. Let us begin our journey. Let us go back in time. Imagine the world 5,000 years ago. There are no cities. There are no shops. There are no banks. People live in small groups. They live in villages. They grow food. They make clothes. They build houses. Life is simple. But there is one big problem. How do people get things they do not have? Let me give you an example. Imagine you are a farmer. You grow wheat. You have a lot of wheat. But you need shoes. Your neighbor makes shoes. He is very good at making shoes. But he does not need wheat. He needs meat. So you cannot trade with him. This is a problem. This problem happened every day in ancient times. So people found a solution. They created something called barter. Barter means trading things directly. You give something, you get something back. No money is needed. For example, you give 10 apples, you get 1 knife. Or you give a chicken, you get some bread. This system worked for a long time. People all over the world used barter. In Africa, in Asia, in Europe, everywhere. Barter was the first step in the story of money. But barter had problems. Big problems. First, you needed to find someone who wanted your thing. And that person needed to have the thing you wanted. This was not always easy. Second, some things could not be divided. Imagine you have 1 cow, but you only need a small amount of rice. You cannot cut your cow into pieces. Third, some things did not last long. If you had fish, you needed to trade it quickly. Fish goes bad after a few days. These problems made people think they needed something better. They needed something everyone wanted, something that lasted a long time, something easy to carry, something you could divide into small pieces. And slowly, slowly, people found the answer. This answer changed everything. So what was this answer? The answer was special objects. People started using special things as money. These things were not paper. They were not coins. They were natural objects. And different people in different places used different objects. In some places, people used shells, beautiful shells from the ocean. These shells were rare. They were hard to find. So they had value. People wanted them. In Africa, cowrie shells became very popular. People used them to buy food, animals, and tools. These shells were small. They were easy to carry. They were easy to count, and they lasted for many years. In other places, people used salt. Yes, salt. The salt we use for cooking. But in ancient times, salt was very valuable. Why? Because salt helped keep food fresh. Before refrigerators, people needed salt to preserve meat and fish. Salt was like gold. In some parts of Africa and Asia, people traded salt for everything. Some people even used blocks of salt as money. In ancient China, people used something different. They used small knives, and they used small farm tools made of bronze. These objects had value because they were useful. A farmer could use them for work, or he could trade them for food. Later, these knife shapes and tool shapes became the first metal coins in China. On Pacific Islands, people created something very interesting. They used huge stone discs. These discs were called rye stones. Some were very big, bigger than a person. These stones were very heavy. You could not carry them. But everyone in the village knew who owned each stone. When you bought something, the ownership changed, but the stone stayed in the same place. This was an early form of money without movement. All these examples show us something important. Money started as objects with real value. Objects people wanted. Objects people needed. But there was still a problem. Every place used different objects. This made long-distance trade very difficult. If you traveled from one land to another, your shells might be worthless there. People needed something universal, something everyone accepted. And this is where metal coins enter our story. Around 2,600 years ago, something amazing happened. People invented metal coins. This happened in two places almost at the same time. In the Kingdom of Lydia, in modern-day Turkey, and in ancient China. This was a turning point in human history. The Lydian coins were made from electrum. Electrum is a natural mixture of gold and silver. These coins were small. They had stamps on them. These stamps showed they were official. They showed they had value. The king guaranteed this value. This was very important. Now people could trust the coins. They did not need to weigh the metal every time. They just looked at the stamp. Why were coins so special? Let me explain. Coins solved many problems. First, they were standard. Every coin of the same type had the same value. Second, they were durable. Metal lasts for hundreds of years. Third, they were portable. You could carry many coins easily. Fourth, they were divisible. You could use small coins for small purchases and big coins for big purchases. Fifth, everyone recognized them. The stamp proved they were real. Coins spread very quickly. From Lydia, they traveled to Greece. From Greece, they went to Rome. From Rome, they went to all of Europe. In the East, Chinese coins spread across Asia. Different kingdoms made their own coins. They used gold, silver, copper, and bronze. Each coin had a different value. Gold was the most valuable, then silver, then copper, then bronze. For more than 2,000 years, metal coins were the main form of money. People used them everywhere. Markets became bigger, trade grew stronger, cities developed, economies expanded, all because of coins. But coins also had problems. Gold and silver coins were heavy. Carrying a lot of money was difficult and dangerous. Thieves could steal your coins, and if you lost them, they were gone forever. So people started looking for a solution. They found it in China again. Around 1,000 years ago, during the Song dynasty, Chinese people invented paper money. Yes, the first paper money in the world came from China. How did this happen? Merchants had a clever idea. They deposited their heavy coins with trusted people. These people gave them paper receipts. These receipts had the amount written on them. The merchants could use these receipts to buy things. Later, they could return and get their coins back. This system worked well, so the government noticed. The government started printing official paper money. These were the first real banknotes in history. The paper itself had no value, but the government promised it represented real metal coins. People trusted this promise, so they used paper money for trade. This was revolutionary. Paper was light. Paper was easy to carry. You could carry the value of 1,000 coins in a small piece of paper. But paper money took a long time to spread to the rest of the world. In Europe, people did not use paper money until much later. They continued using coins for many centuries. Only in the 1600s did European countries start experimenting with paper money. Sweden created one of the first European banknotes in 1661. England followed soon after. And slowly, paper money became normal around the world. The story of money did not stop with paper. In the 1900s, new changes came. Banks became very powerful. People started using checks. A check is a paper that tells your bank to give money to someone else. You write the amount, you sign it, and the other person takes it to the bank. This made big payments easier and safer. Then came credit cards. The first credit cards appeared in the 1950s. With a credit card, you do not need to carry cash. You do not need to carry coins or paper money. You just use your card. The bank pays for you, and later, you pay the bank back. This changed shopping completely. Today, millions of people use credit cards every day. And now, in our modern world, we have digital money. We have online banking. We have mobile payments. We can send money with our phones. We can buy things without touching any physical money. Some countries are creating digital currencies. Some people use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. These are completely virtual. They exist only in computers. So what does this long journey teach us? The story of money shows us human creativity. When people had problems, they found solutions. They moved from barter to shells, from shells to metal coins, from coins to paper money, from paper to digital. Each step solved old problems. Each step created new possibilities. Money is not just about buying things. Money changed how humans live together. It made cities possible. It made long-distance trade possible. It connected different cultures. It helped knowledge spread. It helped technology develop. Without money, our modern world could not exist. But the story of money also teaches us to be careful. Money is a tool. It is not good or bad by itself. How we use money matters. We can use it to build, or we can use it to destroy. We can use it to help others, or we can use it only for ourselves. The choice is ours. Today, money continues to change. Who knows what money will look like in 50 years? Maybe we will not use physical money at all. Maybe everything will be digital. Maybe new technologies will create new forms of money we cannot imagine yet. The journey continues, and we are all part of this journey. And so, my friends, we have reached the end of our story today. We traveled from ancient times to the modern world. We discovered how people created money. We learned about shells, salt, coins, paper, and digital payments. We saw how money changed human civilization. This journey took thousands of years, but we traveled through it together in just a few minutes. I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope it helped you learn something new, and I hope it helped you practice your English in a calm and peaceful way. Remember, learning English is a journey too. Every story you listen to helps you improve. Every word you hear becomes part of your knowledge. If you enjoyed this story, I would be very happy if you subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe, you help us create more stories for you. You help us continue this learning journey together. And if you have a moment, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you learned today, or tell me what story you want to hear next. I read every comment, and I love hearing from you. Also, if you found this story helpful, please give it a like. It helps other English learners find these stories too. Together, we can build a community of peaceful learning. Thank you so much for listening today, my friends. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you a peaceful day. I wish you success in your English learning journey. And I hope to see you again very soon in our next story. Until then, take care, keep learning, and keep enjoying the beautiful adventure of discovering new things. Goodbye for now, my friends. Goodbye.